Welcome to my Stop Fighting with Your Son podcast. If this is your first time here, I recorded 4 episodes especially for you to help you eliminate the fights right away and start connecting with your boy as soon as possible. Go to episodes 54 through 59. I have 4 boys of my own, and I know better than anyone how much you want to have a good relationship with your boy and all the things that can come in your way. If you are a mom of boys, I am the coach for you. Let's go. Hey guys, how's it going? This week that you're listening to the episode, I'm actually pre-recording it, but I'm so excited. My parents are coming out and we're going to have what I call babu camp. Babu is what my kids call my mom because we're Russian. So babushka is the way we call that's how you say grandma in Russian. So when my oldest was little, he couldn't say babushka, so he said babu. So ever since then, everyone calls her Babu. And so she's coming out for a week with my dad. My dad will work a little bit, but my mom and I will do Babu camp, which just means we're just going to do fun things with the kids around the city. So I'm excited, and we're actually going to take the kids and my parents to Stampede, which is, if some of you don't live in Canada, in Calgary, just a quick little recap. Stampede is basically one of the largest horse and farm show in the world, where people do horse racing, bull racing, kart racing, and they bring their animals, and I don't know that much about it, but it's all the farmers and all the racers come, and it's a big party for like 10 days, and you can go watch all the shows, and you can watch the races, and you can go drink beer in a beer garden, and it's just a one big party with lots of shows. So my parents are going to be here for the beginning of that, and we're actually going to take the kids to the parade to watch the horses and all the cool costumes and stuff, and go to a couple shows. And we're also going to see Shawn Mendes, which I'm so excited about because I love his singing. So just a little bit of a little preview for you guys about my fun summer. But I'm so excited for this episode for you guys because it's one of my favorite things that I love. And I've ingrained it so much in my life that I don't even realize I do it. But the other night I was lying in bed and thinking, what am I going to record a podcast on this week? And this is what came to mind. And I want to tell you this. I learned it from Abraham. Abraham is basically a spiritual voice, a spirit that speaks through Esther Hicks. Esther and her husband, and they're real people. Esther Hicks is a real person, and she basically channels this spirit through herself, and he speaks and helps people with their life and guides people. So what Abraham, the voice of Abraham, has taught us, what he has taught me, and I really do believe it, is that the law of attraction, which you might have heard about, the law of attraction, and if you already know Abraham, just ignore what I'm saying because you already know, but the law of attraction is that what we want in our life is what the universe wants to give us, and we attract it, okay? By our thinking, by our desiring it, we simply attract it in our life. And I really believe that. And I have already witnessed so many times in my own life where I would have attracted something that was so obviously not incidental. Okay, so I have a couple examples for you. But before I give you my examples, here's the little formula that has worked for me. And you'll have to figure out your own formula of how to attract things. But I have noticed that when I have a desire for something, and I also have a ability to let it go at the same time. So those two things, I have to have a desire for something, and then I have to be okay with not having it. I could be like, this would be nice, but if I don't have it, it's totally fine. And I often have, do something, take action to get that thing. And when it doesn't work out right away, I let it go with ease. I'm not super upset about it. I am not super attached to having it. And I kind of like set it down on the table for a while. I'm like, oh, if it didn't work out this time, it's fine. It'd be nice if it happens. If it doesn't, it's fine. And so that formula, to have the desire, one, plus ability to let it go, be okay to not have it, and plus maybe taking some steps to having it, right? Because, for example, if you want something and you don't tell a single soul that you want it, I believe you're diminishing your chances of getting it because nobody knows. So now I can give you my examples. So the first one I'm going to give you is the recent one. And this was something I had this desire. I was like, out of nowhere, I'm like, I really want to go out with a friend for a nice show and a dinner. And as a mom of 4 kids, this doesn't just happen. You have to organize babysitting. You have to make sure it works for the husband. You have to make sure the kids don't have anything that night. You have to have a girlfriend, right? You know the thing, right? You're a mom. Right? So it's not like a drop of a hat. So I was like, oh, this year, that would be so fun. I want to do that. And I did mention to her girlfriend, and she's like, oh, I don't want to see this. I want to go to this one. I'm like, I don't want to go to that one. And the schedule wasn't working out, and someone was sick. So I was like, oh, you know what? And I kind of forgot about it. And sure enough, a week or 2 later, the same girlfriend messages me. She says, hey, do you want to go see Trevor Noah, which is a comedian, next Friday, and maybe we can grab dinner. And everything works as smooth as butter. My husband's totally okay with that plan. He can babysit. I don't even need a babysitter. I can go out for dinner. Everything lines up perfectly, and it is the best night out with my girlfriend. We have a nice show. We go for dinner, and it's so obvious to me that it is something that I attracted by my desire, and I was also okay with not having it because it didn't work out the first time. I was not that upset. I'm like, okay, well, I'm fine without it, right? And so that was just a recent example. And if it might not seem as obvious to you, like it might seem like a coincidence. I think it is because you haven't grown that belief in the law of attraction as much as I have. Because for me, I have noticed that direct correlation many, many times with me wanting something and then letting it go and then it appearing in my life exactly the way I wanted it without me having done much about it. The same thing happened with 2 big things in my life. This career, me having this podcast, being a coach, helping people, I really, most of my life, did not have a job I loved, did not have a career I loved, and I wanted it. And honestly, I didn't even think I could have it. And then I think at one moment I realized that I think I let go of this whole pressure to have something I love. And I realized I want something for myself, but I don't have to have it. And the universe delivered this kind of tool for me, the coaching, which I love because it helps people, it helps me. And here I am, year 4 of living my dream career. And I attracted it. And again, the same formula worked for me is I had to have that desire plus ability to be okay without it, plus having put some steps towards it, like doing some Google searches, checking out some education options, doing some soul searching, and that led me to figure out what it is that I love doing. And again, that was the same formula. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to my formula so you can figure out your formula. And I'm guessing from what I've seen in other people, it's not going to be that different. Here's my prediction. It will be very similar. The ability to, you want it. First, you have to be honest about it, right? Because some of us are not telling ourselves the truth, right? Because it may be scary to admit you want something. First, you have to realize you want it. You have to feel the joy. You have to feel good about it, right? If you feel bad about it, then that means you have resistance towards it. And this is also the same thing that Abraham teaches. The Abraham does a lot of work at showing you your resistance and helping you get it out of the way and giving you lots and lots of tools on how to do that. And so if you have, so again, I have a lot of examples of my own that I have had resistance and I do have a desire, but because I have resistance, I'm not allowing that to come into my life. Okay. So the second piece of this formula is being able to let it go and feel at peace without it is huge. It's without that, this won't work. You won't be able to attract it because you won't feel good enough. So that's what worked for me. And so, and then also taking some steps towards it, right? You're like, oh, I'd like, what would you like? I'd like a bouquet of flowers on my table, but, I might swing by the store, but if I don't see anything I like, I'm okay without having it on my table, right? It has to be something that feels that easy. It's almost as if it has to be like a bonus. Oh, if I have this will be a nice bonus for me in my life, right? The other thing I want to tell you about that is huge in my life that I've attracted with my desire in my life is the 4 kids. So it all started on that one first Christmas that my husband brought me to his parents for Christmas, and he has 3 younger brothers. So I witnessed and was part of that Christmas celebration with 3 of his brothers, his parents, some girlfriends, and it was so fun and so lively, and everyone was so amazing that it reminded me of the birthday parties and Christmases and New Year's that I've spent as a kid with all of my cousins around. And I love that so much, to have lots of kids around, lots of adults, just a big family gathering. And I had that desire to have a big family was sparked. I was just in love. I'm like, I want a big family. A few years later, we got married, we had 1 kid, we had another kid, and after a second kid, it was really rough. We were not like thriving. We were just figuring out how to do life with kids. And at that point, we had talks about more because my husband also wanted a large family prior to having kids. But after we had a couple kids, we were in a bit of a shock. We're like, oh, do we really want to do this? And so after the second kid, we started talking about it, and he was a no at that point. And I was kind of like, yeah, let's do the work. Let's do this. And because he was a no, it was about a 6-month period where I actually accepted the fact that he doesn't want anymore. And I got to be at peace with having 2. And again, the same thing happened. That desire that I completely forgot about, well, because I was busy with kids, but I knew I wanted 4, but I didn't really want 4 in that moment. I just wanted that idea, that whole end goal of 4, of a big family. That desire was there somewhere. And when I was able to let go of having it, I was like, you know what? If we are just the family of 4, it's great, right? We don't need to have more. It's totally fine. That's when my husband came around and said, let's do it. We had more, and I got pregnant with twins. And honestly, that does not look like an incident to me, like an accident. It looks like I got exactly what I wanted. I've always wanted. And the family of 4 boys. My husband has 3 brothers. And so I don't think it's an accident that I got 4 boys, because that's what I wanted. So these huge and small examples are what I want to give you, because your life will also be lots and lots of small examples, which are super easy to do this with, like something that you want that small that you could just go out and buy, but someone brings it to you as a gift, right? Like some things that you will think, oh my gosh, this cannot be a coincidence because I was just telling my friend that I wanted that. Or, right? Like you will know what I mean, because you will say, oh my gosh, I was just talking about this. This is exactly what I want. Or it happened in exactly the exact way that I wanted it. So what I want to leave you with is that your desires are very, very important, and you need to pay attention to them and see how you feel about them. Okay, so if you feel easy and good and kind of like you can leave it, that means that you have no obstacles, no resistance towards getting it. Then there will be others that you can pay attention to, and you will feel resistance. Resistance will feel like, oh, I don't know if I can have it, or oh, I don't know if we have money for that, or oh, he will say no to that, or I'll never get that, right? That is simply resistance that's coming from your thoughts. And first of all, right now, all I want you to do is be aware of it. I want you to bring your attention to your thoughts about your desires. And then start just paying attention. Oh, when I want something and I feel really easy about it, I get it. And when I want something but I feel like it's impossible to get, I don't get it. And I want you to pay attention to that and play around with that and consider that maybe the universe does want you to have what you want, but all you have to do is feel good about it, not have resistance. Okay, so borrow my formula. I'll remind you about my formula. First, desire for something plus being able to be okay without it. Let it go. Plus, take some steps towards it. Tell someone, ask someone, look online for it, look through some options, see if you can make it happen through action by yourself. And maybe it'll be so easy as you just order online, right? Whatever it is you want, right? Or if it's something that it seems like, you need to line up some things, play around with it, see what you can do. But again, that is the formula that you can work with. And that is so fun to know that the universe can simply bring you things that you want because it wants you to have that. And as Abraham teaches, which I love, the better you feel, the easier it is for the universe to give you those things. So then your only job, we can say, through the terms of Abraham, is to feel good. Your job is to take care of how you're feeling. All right, I won't go into that, but I'll leave you with that thought. Desire plus let go plus feel good and do some things about it, okay? I love you all so much. Have a great week, and I'm going to talk to you after my Stampede adventures. Bye. Oh, and if you need any help with any of this stuff, I would love to chat with you about it if you have any questions. And you can always get coached. You can always sign up on my website, which is www.coachingnatalia.com. Go to sign up for a free mini session and pick a time. I have only 1 or 2 spots each week this summer, but come September, I'll have more spots open. I'd love to help you tune into your desire. All right? Bye. Love you.